The year was 1972. China was living through the most paranoid, turbulent, and darkest days of the Cultural Revolution. On the outskirts of Changsha, at a place called Mawangdui Hill, workers had been ordered to dig an air raid shelter. But with every shovel that struck the earth, they were releasing something that seemed to breathe from beyond time. As they dug deeper, a strange, sharp, rotten smell began to rise from the ground. Even more unsettling, gas started seeping out through the holes, and when one of the workers struck a match to light his cigarette, it ignited in a bright blue flame. The soil felt alive. It was as if a massive time capsule, holding its breath for 2,000 years, was finally exhaling. When archaeologists arrived, they found something extraordinary. A huge structure buried 12 meters underground, built like an inverted pyramid. It was a display of imperial China's engineering brilliance. But what truly horrified them wasn't the architecture, or even the priceless treasures surrounding it. It was what they saw when they lifted the lid of the innermost coffin. There was no dried skeleton, no scattered bones, no pile of dust. Instead, floating in a mysterious, reddish, rust-colored liquid, lay a woman whose skin was still soft, whose joints could still bend, who looked as if she had fallen into a deep sleep only hours ago. She was Xin Zhui, wife of the Marquis of Dai, one of the most powerful aristocrats of the Han Dynasty, and somehow she had cheated death in a way almost no one in history ever has. In that era, the price of making a mistake in China could be brutal. Under the shadow of the Cultural Revolution, damaging an ancient body could destroy not only your career, but your life. The moment this body touched open air, it could collapse, darken, and vanish. 2,000 years of history erased in seconds. While the most famous pathologists refused to take responsibility, a young pathologist stepped forward, Dr. Peng Longxiang. It wasn't only scientific curiosity driving him. He was carrying the weight of enormous risk on his shoulders. In the forensic room, the tension was almost physical. As the medical team made their first precise incisions, everyone held their breath. But something unexpected happened. They met almost no resistance. The body was astonishingly pliable, and what lay inside was breathtaking. Unlike Egypt's pharaohs, dried, salted, and stripped of organs, Xin Zhui was intact. Her brain, though slightly shrunken, still retained its neurological structure. Her lungs, liver, intestines, even tissues of the uterus were preserved. Her own hair hadn't fallen out beneath her wig. Even her nasal hairs and eyelashes were still there. But the greatest shock came when they discovered blood, still in liquid form, inside her veins. It was partially clotted, yet still red. This was no longer just an archaeological excavation. It had become a full forensic investigation. And after 2,000 years, the mummy was ready to tell her story, her illnesses, her lifestyle, and what killed her. Everything found in the tomb suggested that Xin Zhui had been one of ancient history's great lovers of pleasure. During the Han Dynasty, an era of peace and prosperity, she sat at the center of luxury. More than 1,000 high-end items prepared to accompany her into the afterlife, and an enormous collection of lacquered dining ware proved it. The heaven banner painted over her coffin depicted a woman who refused to give up comfort even in death, continuing her lavish life surrounded by servants. But the most striking detail was this: 30 bamboo baskets filled with provisions and special recipes. Even for eternity, she had no intention of giving up her feasts. Yet the forensic examination revealed the dark cost of that luxury. Xin Zhui was about 1.50 meters tall and weighed over 70 kilograms, on the edge of obesity. Her body carried the marks of overeating and inactivity. Evidence of severe parasitic disease was found in her digestive system, likely from the undercooked meats she ate at banquets. Wealth had not protected her health. It had destroyed it from the inside. Her sedentary life had damaged her spine, and the worn cane found in her tomb suggested she needed support just to walk. So what finally killed her? Her heart? Parasites? Obesity? Forensic experts found the answer in her stomach and small intestine: 138 melon seeds. These seeds were the ultimate smoking gun. They hadn't been digested. Stomach acid hadn't even begun breaking them down. In forensic terms, that meant one thing: Xin Zhui died within about an hour of eating that melon. Using these clues, scientists reconstructed her final moments. It was a hot summer day in 163 BC. Xin Zhui was likely at a banquet or relaxing in her garden. Servants brought her a fresh, cold melon, considered a luxury in that era. Xin Zhui ate it eagerly, perhaps with her usual greed, and far too quickly. She swallowed the seeds without sorting them out, without chewing. That rapid eating and the cold melon shocked her digestive system. The sudden activity in her stomach and intestines triggered a gallbladder already packed with stones from years of fatty food. The gallbladder contracted violently, and a stone became lodged in the bile duct. The pain from this is called biliary colic, sharp, stabbing, and severe. Xin Zhui's body couldn't handle the stress. An autopsy showed her coronary arteries, the vessels feeding her heart, were about 90% blocked with fat and calcification. That wave of pain delivered the final blow to a weakened heart. She suffered a massive heart attack. Perhaps she collapsed while still holding a half-eaten slice of melon, clutching her chest as she fell. Servants rushed around her, but it was too late. Her endless banquet ended in sudden silence. The last thing she ate became the thing that killed her. To understand why Xin Zhui was preserved so perfectly, why she still looks so human after 2,000 years, you have to look at the failures. In the Han Dynasty, immortality was an obsession, not only living longer, but preserving the body after death, so the soul could keep enjoying pleasure. One royal prince, Liu Sheng, believed he could buy immortality. He commissioned a legendary jade suit made from 2,498 pieces of jade stitched together with about 1,100 grams of pure gold wire. The belief was that jade's magical power would prevent decay. But when his tomb was opened in 1968, inside that priceless armor, there was almost nothing left of Prince Liu Sheng, just a handful of dust and a few teeth. Gold and jade had lost to the laws of nature. Xin Zhui's engineers, however, didn't rely on wealth or magic. They relied on chemistry and geology. Her body was sealed inside 4 nested coffins, like Russian matryoshka dolls. Each coffin had been coated and sealed again and again with raw lacquer, an airtight, waterproof natural varnish. Around the tomb chamber, 12 meters underground, engineers packed 5 tons of charcoal designed to absorb and filter moisture. Above that, they laid meters-thick white clay, kaolin. As it dried, it hardened like concrete, turning the tomb into a massive vacuum tube. No air could enter, no water, no microbial breakdown. But the real miracle was the mysterious red liquid her body was submerged in. Years of analysis showed it was mildly acidic and contained mercury, cinnabar. In ancient Chinese medicine, cinnabar was considered a key ingredient in the elixir of immortality. That liquid killed bacteria, stopped enzymatic decay, and preserved Xin Zhui. She hadn't been immortalized by accident. She had been immortalized by deliberate, advanced scientific effort. And Xin Zhui wasn't the only one. This technique had been tried on others in that era too, though the results were not always so perfect. In 1974, only 300 kilometers from Xin Zhui's tomb, another discovery was made near Jingzhou. This time, it was a man, Judge Sui, who also died around 167 BC. When archaeologists opened his coffin, they saw he too was floating in a similar liquid. His joints were flexible, his organs intact. But the most dramatic case happened in 2002. During a road construction project in Lianyungang, workers accidentally uncovered a coffin. Museum curator Zhao Jinping arrived at the site after dark. When they forced the lid open, one of the workers screamed. Inside lay a Han era woman named Ling Huiping, preserved almost as perfectly as Xin Zhui, at least at first. But Ling Huiping wasn't as lucky. There was no expert equipment on site. The air was hot, and the moment the coffin opened, oxygen and bacteria rushed in. Zhao Jinping and his team tried to save her, but before their eyes, the mummy began to deteriorate rapidly, darkening and rotting. Tests on the coffin liquid showed high levels of magnesium and salt, proving the ancient Chinese weren't relying on a single formula. They experimented with different chemical mixtures, mercury, salt, magnesium to preserve bodies. Xin Zhui's story reveals both the triumph and the tragedy of humanity's desire for immortality. Whether her soul reached heaven, no one knows, but her body became famous. A woman who, in life, clung to privacy, luxury, and comfort, now lies in the Hunan Provincial Museum, inside a sterile glass chamber. Every day, thousands of tourists stare at the hauntingly vivid remains of a woman frozen in time, and the story of the melon seeds she ate 2,000 years ago. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy seeing history's hidden faces, revealed through science, don't forget to like and subscribe.